You are a hater and it is ruining your life. Hi, welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to be speaking about all things haters. I'm going to break this down into 4 chapters. The first chapter is going to be key indicators that you are a hater. The second chapter is why it's so easy to be a hater. 3 is the psychology of haters, or how to stop being one. There's a lot of key indicators as to why you are a hater. The first one is you go out of your way to find out things about other people. If you find yourself scrolling through people's social media looking for things to hate, or if you're scrolling through Facebook, or you're out during the day and you're just looking for reasons to hate people or reasons to see the bad in other people, then you're a hater. You rarely have a positive opinion about other people. There's always something that you want to pick at. There's always something that you disagree with. There's something that you don't like about them. If you're constantly having a negative opinion about other people, you guess that you're a hater. Another one is you never find happiness in another person's success. If you feel like whenever somebody is successful, whether they get the job promotion, whether they run a marathon, whether they put themselves out on social media, and you are never happy for them, this can even be your friends. This can be people that you're close to, people that you class as close friends. It could be people you class as your family. But if deep down inside of you, when they succeed, you don't like that, you're a hater. If you find enjoyment out of pulling other people down, if it gives you satisfaction to drag other people down and try and take them away from what they're doing, then you're a hater. Finally, if you're more concerned with what other people are doing in their life, you guessed it, you're a hater. If you consume your thoughts and your time with what other people are doing, you're a hater. So why is being a hater so easy? Judging other people has become extremely normalised with the increase in use of social media and not having any backlash on your opinions. Being able to hate people has become the norm. It's normal to leave hate comments. It's normal to not like people. It's normal to feel like you can express your opinion and not have any repercussions from doing so. If you think about it, when you post something online, if you're posting about something that you love, you tend to get like no engagement from it. It's complete tumbleweed. When you're posting about something positive, nobody really seems to care. But if you post about something that you hate, everyone wants to put their 2 pence in. Everyone wants to get involved and say, well, I hate that too. And I don't like that either. It seems to have this overwhelming community that people just love to hate. If you're posting about something that you don't like, your engagement skyrockets through the roof. If you have a controversial opinion on something, everybody wants to get involved and they want to have their say and be heard. Now, it doesn't actually matter what you do. If you work a corporate job, people hate you. If you start your own business, people hate you. If you have kids, people disagree with you. If you don't have kids, people disagree with you. If you choose to stay in your hometown, people will hate you. If you move abroad, people will hate you. It really doesn't matter what you do. Someone is always going to judge you for it, which is why it makes it so easy for there to have this hater mentality, because everybody does it. It's quite easy to hate on someone that's better in themselves or they're chasing after their dreams, because it shines a light on your own insecurities and it puts a massive spotlight on the fact that you're not doing the same thing. It's easier to hate on other people because it's uncomfortable to sit with the feelings of you missing out, or you not chasing after your dreams, or you not being bold enough to make the move that other people are doing. So you will try and drag them down to your own level just so you feel better about yourself. And it's good to remember that hurt people hurt people. If you're hurt and struggling with your own self-worth, your own self-value, the way you view yourself, you're going to project that onto other people because you don't like who you are inside. And I'm not talking about disliking people because of their behaviours or their actions. If people are just nasty and deserve the hate, then that is totally fine. I'm talking about judging people based off of what they do with their time, what they tend to enjoy, or just plainly just being themselves. So the psychology behind being a hater is that hate is actually a secondary emotion, and it usually comes from things such as guilt, anger, like powerlessness, like vulnerability, being unsure of yourself, feeling insecure. So that emotion comes up because we don't want to actually face the feelings that we're actually feeling. So we turn it into hate and project that onto other people. I'll give you some examples that I can think of. So for example, Disney adults. People love to hate on Disney adults. Like, why are we hating on them? Like, if you don't like Disney, that's fine. If you don't enjoy the Disney world, that's completely fine. But you don't need to project your hate onto other people, because the reason you're doing it is you're probably thinking, well, I wish that I could enjoy something like that. I wish that I could just be comfortable within myself and be comfortable with my inner child and be able to express those feelings and be able to enjoy Disney. But instead you project hate onto them and want to mock them and take the piss out of them because it's something that you can't do. Another one is, say somebody got a promotion at work. Maybe you went for the promotion at work and somebody else got it. And you project that hate onto them because maybe you feel inadequate that you never got the position, or you don't feel good enough that you got the position. You're not happy with how you're performing at work, so you hate on the people that are doing well at work, because it's easier to do that than look at yourself and be like, well, what can I be doing better? Why didn't I get the promotion? Where can I improve myself so that I will be in a better position next time to receive the promotion? If someone starts posting on social media and you hate them for it and you want to be like, who do they think they are? Think they're posting on social media? Well, imagine, like, look at them trying to pretend to be an influencer. But the problem is that you are feeling insecure in yourself and you wish you could put yourself out there. You wish you had the confidence to put yourself out on social media. You wish you had the confidence to go out and chase after your dreams. You wouldn't even know where to start. So instead of thinking, well, why do I feel like I can't do that? You would just project onto other people and think, well, I wouldn't want to do that anyway. That people online are so stuck up, they're so fake. Another one would be in someone being overdressed and you being like, well, who do they think they are dressing like that to this event? Imagine showing up in a ball gown to this dinner. Imagine wearing that low cut top. Imagine wearing this. Like, I would never do that. Like, such attention seeking, whatever. But really it's because you don't think you could pull that outfit off. You don't think you would look good in that outfit. So instead of thinking, well, why don't I have the confidence to wear that? Why can't I wear something like this? You try and pull that other person down and make them feel bad for wearing whatever they want to wear. And they're quite happy. Like, they don't need you to validate them or say they look good or anything like that. They've chosen that outfit because they feel comfortable in it, they feel confident in it, and they feel happy in it. So why are you trying to drag them down to your level because you wouldn't feel comfortable wearing it? Do you see where I'm going with this? When you hate on people, it's putting that big spotlight on yourself. If you're hating on people for them just enjoying their life and going after what they want or just minding their own business, you've got some serious issues. Why don't you look at yourself and wonder why you think that way? Why don't you look at yourself and wonder why you act that way? Why do you feel the need to pull other people down and bring them down to your level just because you're not happy within yourself? And it's shining this big spotlight on you about your unresolved issues. And instead of facing them, you just project your hatred towards everyone else. Everyone wants to live a good life, but not many people are willing to put in the work. And that's the issue. You don't like seeing other people improve their life and doing things that you wish you would want to do, things that you wish you had the confidence for, things you wish you were intelligent enough to do, if you were carefree enough, if you were more confident, whatever that is, wherever it manifests for you, you are uncomfortable with yourself. And that's where the psychology comes in, is you hate yourself. So instead of dealing with your own turmoil, you project it onto other people and you want everyone else to feel the same way as you. Caroline, how do we stop being a hater? You need to do the work. Unfortunately, it's as simple as that. You need to understand the reason that you're feeling this way, why you have such a negative mindset, why you portray that and you project that onto other people. Like, you need to get to the root cause of why you're feeling that way. When you get hatred, if you start to feel hate and you start to feel that resentment towards other people, really just, instead of jumping on that, think, why do I feel this way? What is it about them that I don't like? Because it can't be them as a person, especially if they're minding their own business and you're just judging them for how they're dressed. Why are you feeling this hatred towards them? Why are you so angry about this person? And it's usually because there's something else underlying. Like I said before, it's usually because you actually admire them and aspire to have something that they've got, but you don't know how to get there. If you can address these emotions, usually after the fact, if you've had hatred throughout the day, if you think, oh, well, I know that I heavily judge that person because they posted this on social media, sit down with a bit of paper and a pen and be like, why did I feel that way? Why did I feel this jealousy, this resentment, this hate, this upset about what that other person is doing? And really sit with your feelings and your thoughts and be like, well, why did I? Because until you understand how your brain works and why your brain is processing that way, there's not any way to tackle it other than that. If you're not aware of how you're feeling, how are you meant to correct the negative feelings and the thoughts that go through your mind when you're not aware of them? And you can't hate yourself into loving yourself. If you constantly have negative self-talk, you criticize yourself all of the time, you're never going to stop being a hater. You're always going to be a hater. If you have a negative perception of yourself, if you have a negative mindset, if you aren't comfortable with yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't like yourself, you're always going to be a hater. Because when you hate yourself, you hate everyone around you. You start to hate life. When you are in a bad place mentally, whether that's with your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-love, your relationships, your family life, your body, whatever it is, when you have a negative mindset, you're going to constantly be a hater. And when you have these negative emotions constantly spiraling in your head and you always have a negative outlook on life, you've put yourself in this prison of like a sad, upset, angry, jealous, envious lifestyle, and you put yourself in your own prison and you're the only one that holds the key to that. If you're not willing to work on your self-growth, if you're not willing to work on your mindset, if you're not willing to work on your thoughts and your feelings and really face what's inside of you, then you're always going to be in that prison. But if you unlock all of that, if you work on your mindset, if you work on how you're feeling deep inside, you can start to focus on your own personal growth. You can start to think, oh, well, since I'm no longer hating on everything, I can focus on things that I enjoy. I can focus on bettering my life. I can focus on making more money, going after the job promotion. Maybe I want to post on social media. Maybe I want to start running. I want to start yoga. But if you're constantly filling your time with hating on other people, you're not going to have time for that. You're not. Having resentment towards other people is like drinking poison and thinking the other person is going to die. When you are carrying so much hatred in your body, it's a poison that is spreading through you and it will negatively impact you in so many other ways, not even just your mindset. Holding resentment and anger and stress and like disgust and disbelief in yourself will actually manifest in your body and you will become stressed. You'll become extremely anxious. You might even become depressed. And then you are digging that hole for yourself and putting yourself in there. You are digging your own grave and throwing your fucking body in it. When you're hating on other people, unless you are actually saying it to them, they don't even know that you're hating on them. Unless you're posting hate comments on social media or you actually have the guts to go up and say to someone, I fucking hate your outfit, then they don't even know that you hate on them. Your opinions are kept to yourself and all it does is dig away at yourself. All it does is rot your own brain and rot your own insides and rot your own heart. Because they have no idea that you even feel this way about them. They're just minding their own business, going through their day, and you're the one that's left feeling shit. If you're constantly spending your time thinking of reasons to bring other people down, if you spend like your spare time like scrolling through people's social media or watching their things or whatever, or even bitching about them at work. If you're in a bitchy workplace and getting involved in the workplace drama, and then you go home and you're like scrolling through their Facebook, you're checking on their friends, oh, look what they wore, oh, I can't believe they're going there. How are you going to have time to create the own life of your dreams when you're spending all of your time looking for reasons to hate other people? I'm talking about this from a hater's perspective, but if you are the one being hated on, remember that you shouldn't accept criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. If that person is someone that you would never ever take advice from, then why are you going to listen to their criticism? Why are you going to listen to their opinion of you when you wouldn't listen to it if you were looking for advice? The best way to deal with haters is just to ignore it. You take away their power when you do that, because regardless of what their opinion is of you, if you don't acknowledge them, then they will eventually get bored because they're looking for a reaction from you. And if your reaction is to prove yourself to them, they're getting exactly what they want and it will continue. To understand that winners don't hate, winners get hated on. People that are doing better than you are never going to judge you. They're never going to look down on you. They're going to know that everyone has to start somewhere. If you're starting your own business and you're starting from scratch, you're going to make mistakes. But someone that has a six-figure business isn't going to look down on you for starting because they've been through it as well. But someone who wants to start a business but will never have the guts to do so will have all the negative comments under the sun, that's not going to work, or who do you think you are starting a business? Because they don't feel good enough to do it themselves. Being a hater is so time consuming, and you will end up hating everyone and everything in your life. If you can't find joy in yourself and then you start to project that onto other people, you are going to end up in a really, really negative place. So you need to stop your people hating. You need to stop your hating tendencies. You need to stop being a hater because it's going to destroy your life. It is going to make you so negative. It's going to make you feel shit about yourself. It's going to make you feel shit about your relationships, your financial situation, your job situation, where you live. You're going to end up hating all of it. And then you're going to have a really sad, depressing life because you're not going to be able to enjoy even just the little of things. People who get so pissed off about the little things in life can't even find the joy in a cup of coffee or a Pepsi Max cherry. Like, ask yourself why you would want to live your life that way. Ask yourself why you would want to spend your time hating on other people when you can be filling up your own cup, when you can be focusing on yourself and bettering your life. Why would you spend your time wasting it on other people and not even speaking to them about it? Why would you waste your time trying to drag other people down instead of learning to build yourself up and meet them there? Wild. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you have a great weekend and I'll see you all soon. Bye.